Hi, it's Colleen Taylor with TechCrunch TV. Here with me is Trey Ratcliff, famous photographer. Uh, so maybe we could just talk about social photography. You're such, an icon in this space. How has social networking changed photography?
Well, an artist creates for the sake of creation, and he shares as a means of communicating with the world. And it doesn't matter if 10 people see your photo or 20 people see your photo, you just care that other people are experiencing your art because it makes you feel more alive. And so the idea that we can all make these little artistic creations and bring them into the world and share them with other people, that idea itself is still new and exciting. And the idea that you could actually have, hundreds of people see your photo or more, it gets tremendously exciting. And it kind of gives artists enough mojo to keep going out and perfecting their craft.
And is there anything that you're so positive about everything. Is there anything that you think is bad about everybody becoming a photographer? I mean, do you see a lot of bad photos? Is there anything that grates on you when you see it? Or are you kind of just peace and love, kumbaya?
Well, look, no, a bad photo always just, does get my gristle up a little bit. But generally, it doesn't really bother me because the idea is that we're all kind of cooperating together and creating together. And as long as people are starting to share a piece of their artistic selves, it's better than not sharing anything at all. And we don't live in a world of finite items anymore. It's a world of infinite bits. And so you can't stop the tidal wave of photography and sharing. Everybody is doing it. And if we all work together to create something better than was there before, it benefits all of us. So it doesn't hurt me to see another good photo out there. In fact, it inspires me. A prism needs light. I need to be constantly visually stimulated. And the more visual stimulation I get, the better I can create and start sharing with the world again.
And where do you find yourself spending a lot of time online? What kind of apps do you look at photos on?
Well, I'll use this opportunity to plug my own app, which is not so bad because it's a free app. It's okay to plug a free app, right? Well, we have several, but the one I'll plug is called Stuck on Earth. And so Stuck on Earth is a really cool way for photographers or just travelers to find some of the best places on Earth to take photos. Basically, it's sort of like Flipboard for maps and photography. So you can find the best places to go take photos. It's the best research thing I use here in Austin at home or when I travel to find cool places to go.
It's really a beautiful app, and it just came out a couple months ago, was it, or 3 months ago? How's the traction been and the adoption?
Oh, it's been great. Almost immediately, we got into the six figures in downloads, and we have a big version 2.0 coming out with all kinds of stuff happening. The community has gone crazy because I built this app really for myself, because whenever I travel somewhere, I'm like, where do I go take the best photos? You can cobble together different websites and resources to find the best. That's a pain, though. This is sort of like one-stop shopping. I can go figure out everything I want to do before I go or while I'm there, and it saves me hours and hours of time. Because that's the big problem nowadays is time. And that's what this app does for you. It saves you time. It helps increase the amount of awesome in your life.
And there's a ton of people here. You're doing a photo walk just now. What's it like to meet the people with whom maybe you interact online in real life?
Well, this is great. I love these photo walks because, photographers, we're kind of lonely people, right? And I guess an analog might be like golfers because, golfers, they spend a lot of money on equipment. They think about golf all the time. It sort of dominates their life. But golfers have something we don't have. Golfers can go to a golf course and they can hang out with other golfers and, they get to be in the milieu. We don't have that except for these photo walks. And these photo walks allow us to bridge the virtual world and the real world into one. And one half of these photo walks is people together. You get excited to see other people kind of living your lifestyle. It's sort of a life-affirming thing to see all these other sort of geeky people out taking photos of everything. And the other half of the experience is later online when you share your photos, like on Google Plus or whatever. We tag them, like today we'll tag them with pound Austin Photo Walk, and you click on that, and you can see thousands of photos that everyone else took, and photographers find this an endless source of fascination to look at how everyone took pretty much the same photo, right? They might process it differently. Maybe they have a different angle. We could just look at this stuff all day, and that keeps the photo walk going, and it helps tie together. Well, you know, we all sit behind computers all day long, and I mean, I love that, but something makes that even more potent when you tie it to a real world component like this.
And so what makes a good photograph? Is there any tips that you can give me as like an Instagram person? Is there anything I should definitely do? And is there anything that people should definitely stop doing?
Aha. Well, so here's my biggest piece of advice, is that inside, all of us know what's beautiful, right? Our brains do operate within this golden ratio mechanism. And we just know what is good and what is bad. And so anyone can become a good photographer over time. You have to have a certain level of curiosity. But if you combine that curiosity with the practicality of, let's say you go take 100 photos, okay? You should get used to taking 100 photos and throw out 98 of them and just keep the 2 best, okay? And if you just keep rinsing and repeating, you will become a better photographer over time naturally because you know what is beautiful. In fact, I advise this method over taking a lot of photography classes and whatnot because they may tell you, they may guide you down a path that's not your own. But if you find your own path into this, your path will be unique, it'll be beautiful to you. And insofar as it's beautiful to other people, that's sort of gravy. But you really do it for yourself first.
So don't just take photos and throw them on your hard drive and then move on. You're saying like look back at what you've done.
Yeah, look back and, you know, if you use Lightroom or iPhoto or whatever, go through and just have 2 star systems, 0 stars and 5 stars, right? Either it's something that's really interesting or it's not. And if you just go through this process and have like a little smart folder where you just have your best stuff, and then every week look and say like, oh, look, I added 3 new photos to my portfolio, right? And that's very exciting because you will know, maybe you don't know the difference in a good and a bad photo, or you don't think you know, but you do. If you go through those 100 photos, you'll be able to throw away some and keep some. And this kind of purloining over time will help you become a better photographer.
And so one last question from your new app, Stuck on Earth. What's next on your list to travel to? What's your next destination where you haven't been yet?
Well, I'm in the middle of moving. I live here in Austin, which I love, but I'm in the middle of moving to New Zealand.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't tell you everything, Colleen. So what happens is I decided to move me and my whole family there. I love Queenstown. I love New Zealand. I live my life on the internet now, thanks to Stuck in Customs. We've got a nice team of people that help me out, and we're profitable and all that stuff. So all I need is a good internet connection. And I am sort of a landscape photographer kind of guy, and New Zealand is full of beautiful landscapes. And it just seems like a nice kind of laid-back, chill place to live, and there's all other kinds of reasons. I'm not anti-U.S. or anything, but you know, it just seems like sort of an exotic Swiss Family Robinson type adventure.
That's cool. So when are you going to be there?
Well, I move out in 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And then so like what we're doing is we're taking all of our stuff and packing it into one of these 40-foot shipping containers, and we're going to put it on a boat like a Chinese exporter, and then we're going to go like rent a house in the Caribbean for a few months and wait for it to be delivered. I'll take photos the whole time and play on the internet and all the same stuff I usually do, just a little bit more out.
Cool. So this South by Southwest is kind of your last hurrah for Austin.
Yeah, and so I'm really excited about this photo walk because I made so many friends here in Austin, and this is sort of a hub, South by Southwest. I have all these kind of internet-y friends that come down, and they come to the photo walk, and I lament that I don't get to talk to everyone as much as I'd like to. I don't like to call all these people fans. I like to call them, friends that I just haven't had a chance to get to know yet. So it is nice to see everybody. It is a bummer I don't get to really talk to everybody, but it's better than nothing. Yeah.
Well, we'll let you go get to talking to all these people. Thanks for taking so much time with us.
Sure. Thank you.